What if we went back before the androids, erased Trunks' arrival to deliver the antivirus to Goku, and rewrote the events of Dragon Ball afterwards to give Gohan and Piccolo their own arc? Hit that like button and bell icon because the algorithm isn't doing us any favors. What's up everyone? Dragon Ball Raido is created by Guillaume Guerillot. If you like his work, he has a website, a Twitter, and a Patreon all listed below. From what I understand, this was his first attempt at creating his own manga. And if that's the case, he did an amazing job for his first time out. And shout out to Mario Morales for being the first to find this super well hidden stone in the last video. Today's will be a bit harder to spot. Somewhere in the desert, we hear a light, distant tapping on the sandy floor. Our little lizard friend just happened to scurry upon an unfortunate spot to rest. Shortly after Goku arrived back on Earth, he seems to have hit a sudden snag controlling his Super Saiyan transformation, though his son is none the wiser, only shouting out how awesome it is. To him it appears he can turn Super Saiyan so easily now. The father chuckles at Gohan's response, saying he's right, but judging by the stress he seems to be under, something is clearly wrong. Grabbing his chest, his previously strong face drops. He reveals it's become more and more difficult over the last few days to do this, but merely chalks it up to a side effect he needs to overcome. And when he masters it, Gohan will be the next, who can only pit his fingers against each other, sulking his mother will never let him train because of his schoolwork, causing Goku to realize he screwed up, as he promised Chi-Chi he would help prepare dinner. As night falls, the family sits down together to eat. While she doesn't look ecstatic, at least she didn't send Goku back to King Kai's planet. In her never-ending mom mode, she tells her son she wants him to go work on those algebra problems before going to bed, planning to correct them after washing dishes. But desperately trying to get back on her good side, Goku urges his wife to hold on and he'll wash them instead. Quickly gathering them all into his arms, he heads to the sink. As Gohan makes quick work of his noodles, something catches his eye. His father appears to be leaving a red trail behind him. Addressing the both of them, he coughs that it's probably nothing, but he thinks he has a problem. Bleeding profusely from the mouth, he drops the bowls and plates as a stabbing pain shoots through his chest. His family rushes to his side shouting for him to answer, but through all their cries of terror, he's completely silent. The next morning, all of the Z-Fighters were called to Mount Paozu. Even Vegeta and Yajirobe bothered to show. Though given their current housing situation depends on people who care a little more than them, they may have had no choice. Nonetheless, not a single person in the room seems to hold much hope. When Goku's door finally swings open, Bulma emerges with a device. As it gives off a few blips and beeps, Yamcha asks how he's doing, but she worries it's only getting worse. His heart is in very bad condition. In fact, she's never seen such a violent virus. Before anything else can be done, she really needs those additional analyses too. She can't even finish as Krillin comes busting into the house, shouting he got him. Not having the proper machines here, it seems they had to deliver the samples all the way to Capsule Corp for the results. Mind you, cell phones were not a big thing at this point in history. As she gazes at the paper, all the color drains from her face. The gang lies in wait pleading to know what it says. Speaking, she stutters. The virus. Its strain is currently unknown, and there is no cure. Though Yamcha feels he has the answer, with all of Bulma's know-how, she can just build him an artificial heart. It would be a piece of cake for her. Tien believes gathering the Dragon Balls is a better solution. Goku can't be resurrected again, but Shenron shouldn't have any trouble curing him. The scientist shudders they don't have time. Optimistic, Krillin assures of course they will. There's enough people in this very room to find all the Dragon Balls in one day. Exploding, Bulma shouts Goku is in end stage. He barely has 2 hours left. The news horrifies the gang, not for a moment believing they had such little time. Most notably, this reveal hits the young Gohan the hardest, hearing his father will be gone within 2 hours. Not to mention they were just reunited. Yamcha finds himself in denial, thinking this must surely be some kind of joke, as Vegeta finally hits his own breaking point, calling the others pathetic and announcing he's out of here. When something catches the turtle hermit's attention. Piccolo! He's back! Naturally, he went to Korin's tower to retrieve some senzu beans. Alas, he merely had one. And he was very clear, a senzu only regenerates damaged tissues and the like. It will not cure Goku of the virus. Glancing through her discoveries, Bulma notes most of the cells in his tissues are infected. Regenerating his body now could buy them some time, at least until tonight. Knowing what they're up against, Roshi sighs a few hours is nothing. Yamcha frantically suggests they go and find the Dragon Balls before tonight, though Tien is now more pessimistic than ever, claiming that's impossible. The Desert Bandit argues it's the only chance they have to save Goku, as Piccolo attempts to be the voice of reason. Quelling the unfortunate truth is Tien is right. It is completely unrealistic. With no other option than to wait for his death, Krillin cries they have to try, questioning if the others even want to save him, as a voice calls for everyone to shut up. Chi-Chi. Slamming the bedroom door, she screams Goku is in excruciating pain, and they just plan to keep him alive as long as they want? For what reason? Only to suffer more? She realizes there is no good solution here. Roshi knows she is likely correct. Further, she won't allow them to give him this garbage, snatching the senzu off the table. She stomps it to pieces. In a bout of angry confusion, Gohan bellows to know what she's done. Yamcha just is bewildered, though at least one person thinks she's right. Krillin, with an utterly defeated appearance. He states they don't have any answers, and they can't just let Goku suffer more for nothing. They just have to accept it. Goku is going to die. As everyone comes to terms with this crippling reality, a figure enters the room, informing there may be a chance to save him. Mirroring his arrival after the Saiyan arc, Popo yet again comes to the aid of our heroes, bearing information they don't have. Just as all hope was lost, they now at least have a pipe dream, though Chi-Chi struggles to place this fellow. Piccolo explains his name is Mr. Popo, the attendant of Kami, Earth's guardian. Though he knows there's no way Kami will simply save Goku, wondering what he's doing here. He instructs everyone to follow him to Kami's lookout. Everything will be explained there. The hermit chuckling that's an unexpected opportunity. Counter to Piccolo, the others seem to be under the impression Earth's guardian indeed plans to save Earth's greatest hero. Goku is doomed to die a certain death until Mr. Popo brought a mysterious solution. What miracle could he have in such a short time? On said lookout, about half of the gang is caught gawking at their surroundings, bringing back old memories for Krillin in particular, having trained here for a while. Piccolo reminds they are on the sanctuary of Earth's god, warning them all to behave. Kami can't help but point out that his former evil half still has some good memories of this place. Before informing all, he had them come here because there is a way they can save Goku, bringing optimism to its apex. Though he wants to make crystal clear, the solution is Mr. Popo's idea. As guardian of Earth, he can't interfere with this kind of problem. However, he can't deny the Earth owes Goku. He shouts there is no time, so they need to listen carefully to what he has to say. Cutting to the chase, Popo suggests maybe they've heard of the hyperbolic time chamber. Goku himself once trained there a long time ago. It's the training area of this palace located in another dimension. Its size seems infinite, and living conditions are extremely perilous. Each single day out here equals one full year inside. As some let their minds fall to awe and wonder, Bulma can't wrap her head around such a huge warp in space-time being here, trying to figure out how that's even possible. Going on, the genie reveals while that room is immense, in reality, it's not infinite. There is a world outside of its boundaries, sending shivers down the spines of our heroes. Krillin stutters. Another world? Like ours? Though this separate world is nothing like their own, and nobody has ever managed to reach it. They call this place the World of Everlasting Winter, Kingdom of Odin, Supreme Kai of Winter. Even Piccolo hasn't a clue what he's talking about. While Yamcha finds himself a bit more lost, seeming to be unaware of what a Kai is, which could suggest even more the story has been changed from canon, and the events of the Saiyan invasion and the happenings on Namek went very differently. Or perhaps Yamcha is just being stupid. Though, since the doings of the deities is not exactly common knowledge at this point in the story, Popo tells how the Supreme Kais are the creators of everything, and the most powerful beings in the universe. Nowadays, there's only one left, but millions of years ago, they were numerous. Eons ago, Odin, the most evil of the Kaioshin, tried to take power over this universe. To stop him, all the other Supreme Kais band together to split this dimension and trap him within the bubble universe they created. The hyperbolic time chamber is the sealed bridge between these two worlds. Over time, Odin must have transformed his prison into his own kingdom, reigning as the almighty god over an icy world. Master Roshi can't help but feel this Odin character probably isn't the most welcoming guy. Ten Shinhan adds this also doesn't explain how they can save Goku. Popo then states, within this world lives Air, the supreme Kai of medicine. Before the split of this universe, Odin imprisoned Air and forced him to create the Water of Uror, also known as the Water of Immortality, the cure for death itself. Yamcha impressed by the competence of the doctor, while Piccolo notes this Air Kai, their only hope, is being held prisoner by one of the most powerful beings who ever lived, having a very bad feeling about this. Finally completing his instructions, ignoring all the interruptions, Popo tells them to reach the border of the hyperbolic time chamber, enter the world of everlasting winter, find and save Air, and they will have their chance to save Goku. But before they make a decision, this is all they need to know about this world. 1 minute here equals 6 hours on the other side. So, if they leave in 1 hour, they will have about 15 days to find Air and save Goku. The hyperbolic time chamber is the only connection between the two worlds. It will be their only entry and exit in the entire universe. The two worlds have been separated for millions of years. Nobody knows what's to be found on the other side with the exception of the most bitter cold one can imagine, not to mention one of the most wicked, powerful beings in all of existence. This is a realm outside the reach of Shenron or any gods in this universe, so they should not expect help, communication, or resurrection. If they die on the other side, there's no coming back. Space and time of the two dimensions are mutually exclusive, so to put it simply, disappearing on the other side will erase any trace of their existence here, forever. With everything at stake, who will find themselves brave enough to venture into the void to save Goku? When they get to this new world, what will it look like after millions of years of isolation?